Money can't buy you love, but it can buy you a luxurious life. Paul McCartney is one of the wealthiest entertainers in the world. Besides being the legendary singer and songwriter of the old band The Beatles, Paul McCartney is a powerful man who has already achieved a tremendous net worth. But have you ever stopped to wonder just how this rock star lives? Let's find out. But before we do, just a quick reminder that we have a fun bonus fact for you towards the end of the video, so stay tuned. With that being said, let's dive in. Sir James Paul McCartney, born 18 June 1942, is an English singer, songwriter, and musician who gained worldwide fame with the Beatles, for whom he played bass guitar and shared primary songwriting and lead vocal duties with John Lennon. One of the most successful composers and performers of all time, McCartney is known for his melodic approach to bass playing, versatile and wide tenor vocal range, and musical eclecticism, exploring genres ranging from pre-rock and roll pop to classical, ballads, and electronica. His songwriting partnership with Lennon remains the most successful in history. McCartney has written or co-written a record of 32 songs that have topped the Billboard Hot 100, and as of 2009, had sales of 25.5 million RIAA-certified units in the US. His honors include 2 inductions into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of the Beatles in 1988 and as a solo artist in 1999, an Academy Award, a Primetime Emmy Award, 18 Grammy Awards, an appointment as a member of the Order of the British Empire in 1965, and a knighthood in 1997 for services to music. One of the most successful musicians in the world, Sir Paul McCartney's net worth as of February 2023 is a staggering $1.2 billion. Paul is one of the few billionaire musicians in the world. As a matter of fact, he was the first billionaire music artist. Paul has amassed a gigantic fortune as a tremendously successful musician and composer. Music sales, royalties, digital streams, live concerts and tours, business pursuits, and endorsements are some of the major factors that have contributed to his ginormous wealth. The Beatles epitomized the level of success that musicians could get to, or at least it showed what was achievable. Almost all of the albums and singles the Beatles released went platinum or at least gold. In total, the Beatles has sold over 289.3 million certified units. However, the claimed units sold by the band are over 600 million. Paul has been the UK's richest musician since the Rich List began in 1989. His net worth in 2015 was reported as £730 million. Paul owns a large music publishing catalog with access to more than 25,000 copyrights through the publishing company MPL Communications. It includes the publishing rights to the musicals A Chorus Line, Grease, Annie, and Guys and Dolls. MPL Communications owns the rights to the songs from music artists including Carl Perkins, Buddy Holly, and many others. His 2003 income was a staggering £40 million, the highest income within media professions in the UK that year. Likewise, in 2005, he earned £48.5 million. Aside from that, Paul has also invested in several startup companies. Reportedly, the former Beatle joined the likes of ABBA singer Bjorn Ulvaeus and music firm Taleyard London to invest in financing music startup Outdo. Paul McCartney continues to be one of the highest-earning musicians year after year. Paul earns $60 to $70 million easily during touring years. Besides touring, he earns tens of millions of dollars in music royalties and licensing fees each year. He has perhaps one of the most valuable portfolios of publishing copyrights, which include not just his music, but other super successful music artists' work. In 2017, McCartney earned $54 million from his various pursuits, which landed him in the number 13 spot on the Forbes list of the world's highest paid musicians. See, it pays off to be consistent and follow passion. Similarly, in 2020, Paul's earnings were recorded to be $34 million, which put him in the 91st spot of Forbes' 100 highest earning celebrities. Even though the Beatles broke up more than 50 years ago, and Paul himself is 80 years old, he's still active in the music scene and still kicking. The man still competes with the musicians in modern pop culture. For example, Paul grossed an astonishing $4 million per city during his 2015 to 2016 tour, exceeding the income of fellow superstars like Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and J-Lo. In 2002, Paul's tour brought in more than $126 million. Likewise, his 2010 tour made over $93 million. And similarly, his 2014 tour grossed $71 million, the 2016 tour made $56.5 million, and the 2017 tour made over $54 million. In total, Paul has more than $150 million worth of real estate in different parts of the world. Paul owns a 1,500-acre estate in Sussex, England, a country estate in Scotland, and a flat in London. All in all, McCartney owns at least half a dozen properties in his native United Kingdom. Similarly, he owns a 151-acre ranch in Tucson, Arizona. Paul also owns a triplex in Manhattan, which he bought for $15.5 million in 2015. Reportedly, the unit costs $13,000 a month for maintenance alone. Likewise, Paul purchased a mansion in Beverly Hills for $4 million in 2001 from Courtney Love. Aside from these, Paul has a home in Long Island, which he purchased in 1998 for $495,000. Just like every other successful and rich celebrity, Paul McCartney maintains a fleet of vintage as well as modern wheels. His car collection is easily worth millions of dollars. Well, it's hard to pin down every single car in his possession, but some of the most remarkable vehicles in his collection include the 2003 Chevrolet C5 Corvette, 1989 Ford Bronco, and 1972 Lamborghini S2 Espada. Similarly, Rolls-Royce Corniche, 1955 Land Rover Series I-86 station wagon, 1967 Lamborghini 400 GT 2+2, 1966 Austin Healey 3000, 1966 Aston Martin DB6, and 1965 Mini Cooper S. DeVille are some of his most prized possessions. The true rock star Paul McCartney has had quite a career. Though he made a few bad choices in his early days, for example, selling the music catalog to Michael Jackson or doing drugs, among others, he is doing astonishingly well as of now. He became wiser and savvier as he got older and diversified his source of income. He's not only the most well-known musician in the UK, but the fourth richest in the world. McCartney married Linda Eastman, a photographer and animal rights activist, in 1969. The couple had 4 children. Unfortunately, Linda died in 1998. He then married Heather Mills in 2002 and divorced in 2008. They had 2 daughters. Following that, Paul married his current spouse, Nancy Chevelle, on October 9, 2011, and has been living happily married ever since. Sometime in the 60s, Paul and the other Beatles were introduced to marijuana by fellow singer and songwriter Bob Dylan. After that, McCartney became a recreational marijuana user. Interestingly, he was arrested a few times for possession of marijuana and was even denied a visa to the United States until 1973. Along with marijuana, McCartney also did cocaine and LSD at one point in his career. Thank you for staying with us, dear viewers. It's now time for the bonus fact. Yesterday is the most covered song according to Guinness World Records. The song remains popular today with over 2,200 recorded cover versions. And guess what? Every time the song is played or covered, Paul gets his cut. Isn't that cool? Which Beatles song is your favorite? Comment down below and let us know. If you enjoyed the content, uplift the channel by hitting like, subscribe, and also ring the YT bell to meet us again in the following video. Until next time!